Yo.
What up, what up?
Woo. Let's go, man. Podcast night.
Ooh, yeah. You know,
let's go.
I do always look forward to this night.
Same.
My wife told me before I came over here, she said she's starting to hate us.
Why?
I don't know. I think she's behind on episodes. But, you know, must be talking about some wild shit.
Oh, so she just... Well, depending on where she's at, we're going to bring you back. It's a love-hate thing. I understand. We're going to bring you back.
That's right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Carbon Footprint Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Episode 157, hit him with the drink.
Woo. Listen, man, I was excited to make this, and it did not disappoint, man. The minute I saw the recipe, I'm like, this is going to slap, hopefully, or it may be a disaster. But we got something called a búfala negra. Búfala like buffalo, but with an A at the end. So búfala negra. And it is
just sounds sexy.
It's amazing. I just want to order this shit out of bar. And I know nobody's going to know what I'm talking about. I'm like, let me get a búfala negra. It sounds sensual, bro. But it's a bourbon-based drink. So we did 3 basil leaves in a mixing glass. I threw in a teaspoon of aged balsamic vinegar. Yes, aged balsamic vinegar. It sounds crazy.
Dude, when I saw that shit, I was like, you cooking, bitch?
Yeah. Like I'm about to throw down on this salad, dog. I busted out basil leaves and balsamic. Sean was like, huh? Like it's a vegan podcast now? But dude, I did... So we threw down the 3 basil leaves. So make sure they're big leaves. Do the teaspoon of the aged balsamic vinegar, has to be aged, and then half an ounce of simple syrup. Muddle that really, really well. Muddle that bottom of the glass. Add some ice. Add 1.5 ounces of bourbon. Shake it up real nice. Pour it in a glass full of ice, and then stir in chilled ginger ale. And then garnish with a big whole basil leaf. Make sure you clap it up, release that aroma, and you got the búfala negra, and it is delicious. I'm adding this to the rotation, man.
Yeah, this is good, man.
And it's simple. It sounds, I know it sounded like it was a lot of steps, but it was really not. It was really quick to put together. And yeah, like once you make one, the rest come pretty quickly. It tastes amazing. One of the other things that I really loved about this drink, so the drink is said to be from this place called the Oak Room in Kentucky. It's in Louisville, Kentucky. And the Oak Room, it's an old bar where Al Capone used to go, and he played poker in the 1920s. And it is said that he, not only did he frequent, but this is one of his favorite drinks to order. And so it goes back that far. So who knows if that's true or not.
What years was he sort of prominent?
It was around that time, the 1920s, 30s.
1920s.
So yeah, so Al Capone. So it came from like old legend has it. It's from this place. I don't know whether or not it's true, but it's kind of a cool story.
Nah, I mean, you figure Kentucky bourbon, right?
Yeah, Al Capone. I don't know what Al Capone will be doing in Kentucky.
Me
but
neither.
Cool.
Betting on horses.
But yeah, probably that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, he's betting on horses. So so the drink slaps. Also, cool fun fact with it is that the bartenders at the Oak Room would typically make this with bourbon from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. So I didn't make it with Buffalo Trace because I wanted to try a different bourbon, which, by the way, we did something called Heaven's Door. So 1.5 ounces of the Heaven's Door bourbon. This is good. And it's good. I like this.
We had it straight, and it was good.
It was great, man. And maybe I'm doing a disservice to Kentucky because this is a Tennessee whiskey, and it does have that bite that the Tennessee whiskeys tend to have, like when you drink it straight. But it's really good, man. I like this. I like it a lot.
Kentucky, aren't they real close?
They're kind of the same, bro. They're like Siamese twins.
Which one's the pretty one?
Kentucky's the one with feeling. Tennessee has all the extremities. But yeah, man, shout out. So Búfala Negra, try that out, man. We'll put up the recipe. We'll put up a picture. It's pretty. And it tastes delicious, man. Like I said, I think I'm going to throw this into the regular. Like, I like to just drink bourbon on a regular night. And this is simple enough where I think I'll throw this in there, man.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. All right, man. We're going to start up with your carbon footprint. What you got this week?
Yo, listen. This week, my carbon footprint is going out to the Blue Beetle, the movie. Blue Beetle, and the entire cast and crew for that. And yeah, it's the only kind of promo you get to see for it. But anybody who had anything to do with making that movie really is who's it's going out to. And because I think this could potentially be really big movie. Not only from a, DC has had its issues with trying to create what Marvel has created in the movie universe. This could be the movie that kicks that off. Like you take a hero, like Iron Man wasn't a household sort of superhero when they made those Iron Man movies. Neither was, Captain America, all that stuff. Like now we're like super popular, but outside of the comic book fan, Iron Man wasn't very popular. It was like usually Spider-Man from Marvel was like the thing where they sort of did movies. So I think DC, if they follow this formula of picking a hero that isn't like mainstream and then starting to build and then it becoming mainstream. Okay. I think this could be the thing that does that for DC, but that's not even the part for me that was like important. It was, not only was it a good movie, I think as a Latino, and I hate to use this comparison because Black Panther was such a movement.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was so big. And so, and I think because of the climate we're in right now where you're not allowed to promote, it's obviously not going to reach that pinnacle. But I think this could mean, this could be for Latinos what Black Panther meant to the Black community. Okay. Meaning like the superhero in this is a Latino. The cast is almost fully Latino. His entire family and Latinos from all walks of life. Like obviously they're Mexican. In the movie, well, they don't say they're Mexican, but it's sort of insinuated that they're Mexican.
Yeah, and there's George Lopez is in this,
George
right?
Lopez is in it. The main character is a Mexican American. Okay. And, one of the other main character girls, I think she's Brazilian. So they're touching on a lot of the Latin community. But the movie just touched on a lot of the cool. I like that it didn't do the woke thing. Like immediately you think, oh gosh, you're gonna do this thing, John. It hit on all the stereotypes of Latinos that are to me sort of endearing, right? Like, it's showing your grandmother's house with the furniture covered in plastic. It's, you know what I mean? Like shit like that. It's like, the
we had that shit too.
Yep. It's showing, you know, like your grandmother would have, or any old Latino, they be having all the fucking religious candles.
Bro, fucking altar, bro.
Over. Yeah, an altar. But at the same time, they threaten to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like for eating for opening a new box of cereal while the old one was still not finished. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so true to me, to the Latin community. It was so funny, so well done, that I think it just gave to me like something to be proud of. And I can even see it in my kids when they're watching it, where it's like, dude, representation matters, man. And I know we clown the whole woke thing all the time and the cancel culture and all that stuff. But one of the things that I will say is like, and we talked about it with having Miles Morales as Spider-Man, is representation matters. Seeing somebody that looks like you matters. Seeing a family that looks like yours, talks like yours, does things. And everything in this, man, did it so perfectly, man. Like down to the music, where it would be the old school Latin music that your mom would listen to when she was cleaning the house on a Saturday morning, to Selena, to even the hip hop, dude. They played, I think they had maybe one hip hop song, and it was Cypress Hill, but it was so, Cypress Hill is like that. You go to a Latin neighborhood in Spanish Harlem or anywhere else, like in the mid 90s, and you can just see it just hit, man, like so hard. And I felt like whoever just made all these choices of what to include, it wasn't a caricature of Latinos. I think it was so well done, such a good representation, so funny beginning to end, because you're just laughing like, yep, that's us. Yep, that's us. And then to make him a superhero, obviously, and everything that goes along with that, with the powers and that, like, so cool, such a well done movie. Maybe my expectations are so low. I left there just like blown away. Like I wanted to tell everybody to go watch it. Like I and they can't do promo for it, so the movie's not going to do as well probably as it would have done if the strike wasn't going on. But man, I would urge anybody to go watch it. If you're a Latino, certainly if you're a Latino our age, and like there's so much stuff in there that's relatable, and it's finally a well executed DC movie, man. Like I go, I'm a Batman nerd, and I would go as far as to say as it might be the best DC movie ever made. Oh, wow. In terms of like, there aren't many flaws in the movie where you're like, well, I wish it would have, it has the cheesy things or the far-fetched things like any superhero comic movie would have. But literally beginning to end, you're just, like, to me, sucked in or just laughing so hard. Also, I couldn't remember the last time I left the movie theater, and it might have been Avengers Endgame, but the credits started to roll and people started to clap.
Oh, wow.
Like the entire crowd was like, so it wasn't me by myself. Like, I'm like, you could feel it in the theater, like the way people laughed, the way the way, the groans, the thing. Right. And then immediately credits roll and people just start clapping. Like, it was such a cool movie. So go watch it, man. Hopefully it does well. We get a sequel. But dude, as a Latino, I was proud, man.
I saw those previews. So, recent movies over the summer I went to go see, and I've seen the preview for it. I've never heard of the Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
And then seeing the previews, I was just like, oh, okay, so they're trying to do like the Latino thing here, right? The previews looked okay, but I have to admit, man, like kind of like yourself, I still have, right? I haven't seen it. I have low expectations.
Absolutely. I had very low expectations.
And I saw it, and I was just like, yeah, like I'll watch it, but I'll wait for it to come out on whatever.
Yeah. And
right?
maybe that's the move, like the shit. But I will say, I don't think.
No, you got me fired up, bro.
I don't think if you saw it in theaters, you would be like, I wish I would have saved my $100, going to watch it with two people. But like, it's just, it's so good. To me, it's so entertaining. I should say, it's like so funny, so entertaining. Right? It's probably not going to win an Oscar. It's not going to do stuff, but it's so entertaining.
Yeah.
To me, George Lopez knocks it out of the park.
I love George Lopez,
dude,
man.
George Lopez is the uncle that every Latino family has who's never left home. Right? Like, and he's like in his mid 40s and still lives with his mom. Like George Lopez plays that character, and he's like the conspiracy theorist, and he does it so well.
Oh my God, bro.
So well.
Why did I just think of somebody?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Every Latino family has that. And then you go like, not only that, but then you get like, again, there's some stereotypically Latino things where I think, I could see a subset of the community complaining, saying they're making us look bad, but at the same time, you're like, nah, that's so us.
Yep.
Like it's so us. There's even a scene there where the guy goes into like an office building or whatever, and because he's Latino, the lady's kind of like, oh, deliveries are downstairs, kind of thing. And even that shit's funny.
The mail room's down that way
because it is such a part of our experience. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so it was so well done.
Somebody
so
hand him his keys.
Yeah. Dude, if you're, and I think there's where that happens too, man. So yeah, if you're a Latino, man, I would say anybody, but especially if you're Latino, you're gonna enjoy this. And I think there's finally a superhero that could potentially have a big blockbuster future for the next 5 to 10 years, depending on if this DC thing is executed well. And I believe that James Gunn will pull it off.
I was gonna say, is this James Gunn?
So it isn't him, but it is his partner, who's I want to say Peter Safran, who is the sort of co-CEO of DC. So it's him and James Gunn.
Okay.
I think he was like the executive producer on this. And James Gunn has already said that he's going to keep the character around in his universe. He go, it may not be this world, quote unquote, but it will. I am bringing the guy who plays him. I am bringing that character. He will be part of our thing moving forward.
Oh,
I don't see why you wouldn't. Like this, it was just so good.
That's exciting, right? But especially for that actor, because and for this character, because I mean he's gotten rid of some staple guys recently.
Yeah, dude, and there's mostly no names in this. Well, I shouldn't say that. Susan Sarandon is a legend.
Yep.
There's some Latino actors that you'll recognize as, they always play the old guy or the mom or whatever. There aren't any big names in this. The kid Cholo Maradueña, I'm gonna get that wrong. It's Xolo. I'm gonna assume you pronounce that Cholo, but he's a Mexican American kid. I think he plays in Cobra Kai. I've never watched Cobra Kai. I don't know he's in something else, but he plays the Blue Beetle. Knocks it out of the park. And I know he's got like a singing career, or I think a rapping career, or whatever that he wants to do too. But I go, that kid, charismatic, does the role well. Just believable, and it's such a cool movie. Like I said, I think it's gonna mean a lot to the Latino community. I think it could be for Latinos what Black Panther was for Blacks, where it was a proud sort of representation. I can see people now wearing the Blue Beetle T-shirts at the Puerto Rican Day Parade already. We'll claim Mexicans all day if they're doing cool shit. But yeah, man, so good, man. I think hopefully, again, I want to see what this does, but I think, again, this is going to be a really big, cool thing moving forward. That's
dope, man. We were talking about taking the kids this weekend to see a movie, but we had not decided on one, man. I think that's what it's going to be.
You won't be disappointed, man. Blue Beetle. I think they'll like it too, man. And you know what? Yeah, you're going to come next week and you're going to tell me how much you hated it, like I did with that show. You know what? Just lie to me.
Note to self. Lie next week.
Treat me like a side chick next week. Just lie to me.
No, it was good for real.
Tell me how much you love it.
I swear. All right, man. Yo,
what you got?
My Carbon Footprint is going out to the U.S. track and field team. And the reason is that for the last probably week or so, there's been some world championships. And both the men and the women from the United States have reclaimed the title of the fastest man and the fastest woman in the world.
So Jamaica disqualified? How do we get that?
They didn't show up. They popped for weed.
That's right. You can't smoke weed anymore.
Dude, so to start off with the women, man, Sha'Carri Richardson, who you may have seen this woman on social media, young woman, fast as hell.
Yeah.
She wins the 100-meter. So the title of like the fastest man and fastest woman is based on that 100-meter race, which like
it's the one with Usain Bolt made himself a legend.
Exactly. Yeah. And we've watched, dude. I saw it the other day, man. I think the first time Usain Bolt was in the Olympics was 2008. I want to say that's right. I could be wrong.
Ooh. No, that sounds right.
But
sounds right.
It was baffling to me that I was like, holy crap, man. That was what, 16 years ago or whatever, 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
And so, to stay with the women, first of all, there was 2 Jamaican women on the track, Sharika Jackson and Shelly Ann Fraser Price, which that name, like I've seen her in multiple Olympics, and they were the favorites. And actually, Sharika Jackson was winning the entire race.
Oh, really? Okay.
And Sha'Carri Richardson, who's a little thing.
She's small. Yeah. I saw the highlight of her pulling at the last minute.
At the last
sort of
second,
like,
man. She fucking pulls.
The only thing stopping that girl is her. Like,
well, I'm glad you said that, man,
Yeah.
because so previously she actually popped for THC weed, right? During the Tokyo Olympics. And then she was banned from running there. And then the year after, I think she came back to the World Championships and she sucked.
No, she was horrible. Yeah,
she was horrible, right? Yeah. And so she was kind of fighting, like she kind of like rose to kind of stardom, and then had these sort of bumps in the road, and didn't really, wasn't really like on her game essentially. Yeah. And man, it was funny, man, because she went into the whole thing of like, man, I rose, and then when I kind of fell, I saw how everybody kind of turned on me. And so, like this win is for me, because even in the light of all of that, the people that stuck by me, my family and my true friends, like they stuck behind me, and I put in the work, and this was the culmination of me putting in that work.
And hopefully she like means that, and that's because I think we could all struggle with that and whatever
Absolutely,
you do. And especially I think people who experience some level of success and fame, where you find yourself doing things for others or giving into that criticism. And I think if she's truly locked in like that, like I said, I think the only thing that can stop her is her, man. Like, you don't get slower. The girl is clearly really fast, talented, generational talent. Obviously, I mean, she set the world record like all time fastest.
Yeah. I
right?
think it's 10.65, which is she was running 21 miles per hour, bro.
That's insane. So
that's
now,
really fast.
Who's the fastest man in the world?
Okay, so that's the next thing.
Okay,
so the fastest man in the world is now to claim the title is Noah Lyles. Another American.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay. So as I'm saying, like America just took back the title of the fastest man and the fastest woman in the world. He did not break Usain Bolt's record, but he finished at 9.83. That's almost 23 miles an hour this dude was running. And
dude, it's also half a second faster than the women's.
Yeah.
That's a big gap.
That's a big, yeah. On the track, that's huge.
That's huge. Right. When you look at it visually on a track, it's huge. But also, not to take women, I think track is also one of those things where, like, because it's like fast twitch muscle fiber and all that stuff, like women can compete with like some of the guys in those races wouldn't beat Sha'Carri Richardson. Like, she would be faster than some of the guys in those races, or she'd be there with them. I don't
know.
Like, I'd be curious to see who came in last.
Yeah, maybe it's somebody from Somalia.
Yeah. He was hungry, man. Damn. I know where you're going.
No, but listen, let me get on Noah Lyles first. So Noah Lyles, again, fastest man, the reigning fastest man in the world, 9.83 on 100 meters. But his big event is the 200 meters.
Okay.
And so he has been working on this, and he claims that the 100 meters has always been the challenge, and it's like the second 100 meters is when he puts on the speed.
So he gets faster as it goes. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So, and he has verbally said, like, I will break Usain Bolt's record. And Usain Bolt has come out and given him his props and talks to him, and Usain Bolt's like excited for this guy, right?
Yeah.
He's doing everything that he said he's gonna do.
Yeah.
That's this coming Friday. So today's Wednesday. What's today's date? The 23rd?
23rd, yeah. So
the
Friday,
25th?
25th. Okay.
200 meter. If you're not watching, check him out. Noah Lyles. I believe it's NBC that's broadcasting these world championships.
So, and he has said he is breaking Usain Bolt's 200 meter record.
Correct. He currently holds the U.S. record for a 200 meter.
Okay, but he wants the all time.
Usain Bolt is the dude, right?
Yeah, he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. That's right.
The GOAT.
And dude, they show some old Usain Bolt races.
That motherfucker's fast.
And the way that he used to pull away from the field,
dude, the most iconic sports photo of all time may be the Usain Bolt looking back at someone during a race, during like a fucking Olympic race. It's not even like, it's like an Olympic race and he's looking to see how close they are.
Right.
No one turns their head and track. Usain Bolt is so damn fast. He could afford to turn his head and look to see where his opponents are, and his facial expression is hilarious. I don't know. Have you ever seen that photo?
I know who you're talking about.
Oh my God, man. To me, it's one of the most iconic photos in the history of sports.
Yeah.
Just because, to your point about how he pulls away from people, it's just such an indicator. Like if you've ever done anything athletically, like it's always like you look forward, there's a technique. The turning your head slows you down. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he broke a record looking back to see,
dude.
you know what I mean? Like, it's
dude, I've always
nuts.
watched his races, and when he pulls away from the field, I always feel like he slowed down before he hit the finish line.
I always have
and
to.
I'm always like, dude, don't slow down. Let's see
like
how
what
fast
happens if you keep going.
Go right.
I have always felt that way about him too. It's almost like he blows by everybody and then he just takes it right down at the end because he's good. I'm with you because I remember yelling, "No, I want to see what you can do at full speed." Like,
right. But you know what? And it's funny, man. Watching this, I'm always rooting for the U.S. Obviously, but Usain Bolt was one of those athletes that just captured the world, and it was like after seeing how great this guy was, it was like, okay, let's see who can beat him. But when he wins, you just go like, yeah, that's the GOAT. That's the guy.
Yeah, Usain Bolt's a GOAT, man. He is synonymous with track. Like he's the only track athlete everyone can name. You know what I'm saying?
Right, probably right.
Like,
bro.
like the rest of us, we might be like Carl Lewis, and we might throw out some names here and there. But like Usain Bolt is like synonymous with track.
Yeah,
and field.
dude.
And it's funny, he's not even American, but we treat it that way. You know what I mean? Like,
right. He's
so,
like a hero, man.
Yeah, he's a hero. He's so fast and so thing. That's awesome, man. Like 200 meters. That's gonna be, because like you said, the 100 meters is the big goal. It's 100 meters. So the NFL Combine one? No, that's the 60-yard dash.
That's 40. Isn't it?
It's the 40-yard dash. You're right.
Yeah, it's 40.
So that's not 100 meters.
No.
I don't even know math is because I'm a dumb American and we don't use that. We don't use that math.
No, but 100 meters isn't 100 meters essentially like a football field?
I think so.
I mean, right? Because it's like 3 point something feet per meter.
Yeah. So
right?
football field is
and a yard. It's 100 yards.
Yeah.
So, but it's roughly right. It's roughly a football field, dude. To run that in 9 seconds.
That sounds slow.
It's fucking fast.
Gotta be
bro.
longer. A full football field in 9 seconds. That sounds slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think about a full football field, think about Devin Hester catching the ball, taking off.
But the really fast guys that run 40s, they run 40s in like 4 point something seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 40. That's not even halfway.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a 40-yard dash. It's like 40. Yeah, that's a good point. It feels like when I'm thinking of a football field, when you go to a football game, the field looks much smaller than it does on TV.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you step onto a field and look towards the end, that's a long way.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, it would take me like 27 seconds probably to get to the other side. Full speed.
Well, like, you be right on par with this Somalian chick, man. I'm going to come back to it.
Go ahead. Let's go back to Somalia.
So first of all, shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yeah,
Noah Lyles
Good
for claiming the titles of the fastest man and woman in the world. And good luck to Noah Lyles on Friday as he chases Usain Bolt's 200-meter record.
Listen, we need to get black people in the pool, though. Come on, man. We need y'all swimming.
Dude, I always think back to the Marine Corps, man. They were like, let me get my iron ducks over here when it was time for swim quals, right? So the guys that can't swim, the joint instructor would be like, all my iron ducks, get over here. And it was all the black guys.
Yeah, man, it's a wrap. As soon as they get in the pool, damn.
But yo, if you not seen this, I guess there was a race. It was not part of the World Championships, but it was the World University Games held in China, and they had a 100-meter race, women's race, and there was this one woman from Somalia that came in at a whopping 21.81 seconds.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. A toddler would have got
And
that.
then, and they had the nerve to skip across the fucking finish line.
She skipped. Wait, and she was the one who got in on like a technicality, right? Because they didn't have anybody.
Well, I don't know what, but from what they said was, I guess the Somali official was this lady was the niece of the president of the Somali Athletics Federation.
Yo, if you're gonna use nepotism, a race is not the place.
That's the place to do it. So they were like Somali people that was just like, yo, we got people faster than
that's
that.
embarrassing.
Like,
as fuck. Yeah, I bet you they do, bro. In Somalia, yeah, you could have threw a pirate in there. Homie from what's the movie?
Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say fucking what's the one with Tom Hanks, bro? I'm the captain now.
Oh, what the,
yo, Somalia's the one that circumcises women, right? Is that in Somalia?
That's a thing.
I'm pretty sure
You can do that.
Google that. I don't.
I'm afraid.
Before I'm offensive for no reason.
I'm afraid.
I'll look it up.
I'm on a work laptop.
Oh yeah, I'll look it up. I'll give a fuck. Circumcised women, and then here comes the knock on the door.
Dude, didn't some guy in the MLB just get like busted for underage women? The dude from Tampa, right?
Oh, is that Franco?
Is that his name?
I think you're right, man. Or he's being accused of.
He's been accused. Sorry, he didn't get busted. He got accused, but I guess based on what they know.
Yeah, dude. Daughters of Somalia it's an organization. It's a movement thing. It's a continuous pledge to end female genital mutilation. Yeah, I thought it was. Somalia.
What do they do?
They still practice female circumcision. This custom is still widely practiced in Somalia.
How does that work?
Yeah, and they do it to women of Somali. 99.2% of Somali women aged 15 to 49 had been subjected to this.
What? But do you know what? Do you know what it is?
I'm afraid to look up a photo because it's gonna be gross.
Well, I mean, I would think that it would maybe
it's what it sounds like. You cut the hood around the clitoris out. Yeah. Maybe they can't find it, and they did this as an attempt to.
For what purpose, though? Yeah, you probably going on the fucking rabbit hole.
That's gonna be a whole hour podcast.
Huh? By the time we're done, it'll be like, well, fucking shit makes sense. Why aren't we doing that here?
Look, I understand.
I mean, they cut out shit. Why not theirs?
It's just the dumbest thing in the world. Like, yo, think about, is there any other thing in life where you go, let's take away a body part? It wasn't supposed to be there.
What's not a body
Nothing.
part? But
it is.
No, but yeah.
We don't cut out any other parts of
right.
bodies, and we're like, let's cut that. That's extra skin. Andrew Schultz has a great bit about women who were like, ew, you're uncircumcised. And it's like, have you seen a vagina? It looks like a bucket of foreskin.
So maybe that's it, bro. Maybe it's for looks.
You mean?
Maybe it's just so it doesn't look like a bucket of foreskin.
Yo, men have it bad, bro. You know what? Maybe that's just like again, because men all over the world, it's considered like you have to do it or you're gross. Like if you don't get circumcised, maybe this is just our way to get one back. I don't know, man.
Shit.
But man. So nepotism, she gets in.
Yeah, no, she gets in, bro. Like I said, ain't really much of the story, man. There's
she's
not
still running.
Fucking bitching about it.
This was last week, and she's still
hasn't
running.
Crossed the finish line. They just gave it a 21 seconds.
Dude, I saw that. I thought it was a joke, and then I read the article, and it was like, no, she was, whatever. She made it through this. I thought they just couldn't afford to field the team, so they just send the person from like The Office.
Dude, and we've seen even on the male side, wasn't it a little tank? Remember they put him in there? Right?
He had an unfair advantage. Poor Ting Ting.
No, but he wasn't, right? He couldn't compete.
Yeah, I think so. I think he couldn't. We just threw him in for.
I think they threw him in because, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because they couldn't put him, I don't know, I guess you couldn't put him in the Special Olympics.
Wait, Pistorius, right? Remember Oscar
Wasn't
Pistorius?
Well, he's
the South African dude. He's the one with the blade. The Blade Runner. Yeah.
He was fast.
He's fast as fuck.
Yeah, but he wasn't like beating Usain Bolt.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's not even close to that.
No. And honestly, if you're not beating Usain Bolt and you got prosthetic limbs, bro, like legs, like technology's on your side.
You got springs.
He underachieved,
literally.
Bro. Yeah, he got springs, dog. Like how you got springs and you couldn't beat Usain. That just shows how fast Usain Bolt was. Like you couldn't beat him using freaking robotic legs, bro. Like you said springs, fucking trampolining down the thing and couldn't.
The bitch jumped.
Yeah, I'm gonna skipping like a deer in slow motion. House way. And then didn't he also shoot his wife or girlfriend or whatever?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh, that's right. He was found not guilty, right?
Was he? I don't know.
Or maybe he was found guilty, but you don't got to do a lot of jail time in South Africa because it's a woman. So they were like, nah. Yo, women get shafted, yo. I'm sorry, y'all. This is wild. I don't think he did a life sentence. I think he got convicted and did like 2 years of probation.
That sounds right.
Right? I remember it being something super
I don't know
wild.
what his sentence was, but I think he did get convicted.
But I think he was saying that she attacked him or something a while. But I remember him shooting his. I was like, damn, if you're her, you're like, man, why couldn't you have fake arms? Like you could pull the trigger. Of all the ways.
But you can't do it with your toes.
Come on, Blade Runner. What you got?
Bro, I gotta tell you about this shit though.
Pull it up.
There's somebody doing God's work over in Ukraine.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, there's a woman over in Ukraine giving emotional support to the Ukrainian soldiers.
Okay.
Her name is Fan Pei Kong. I'm probably gonna mess that up. 33 years old, from Houston, but definitely Asian descent.
From Houston?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say she don't sound Ukrainian.
Nope.
Okay.
She's actually Asian descent.
Okay.
I think she left the U.S. in like 2022. Actually won Ms Taiwanese. So maybe she's of Taiwan descent.
She won Miss Taiwanese.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's
in
bad.
2022.
So she's a baddie.
I mean, yeah. I guess it depends on your taste.
Dude, if you get Miss Taiwanese, like Asian, like they gotta. It's not like one of those countries where they're mostly ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be decent. Oh, maybe makeup is a miracle worker though.
Yeah. Because I mean, I've seen, and I'll give you guys her Instagram. It's a model techie. So MODELTECHIE. You could decide for yourself.
Okay.
But anyway, so she felt like a sense of, I don't want to say patriotism, but felt like she had to go and lend a hand over there. And she refers to herself as a sex tourist. And she's had multiple relationships with these Ukrainian soldiers. She has an OnlyFans account and says that she gives it out for free to Ukrainian soldiers, military volunteers, and occasional local citizen.
Occasional. What's the criteria, yo? Damn.
But yeah, man, like her content includes like free emotional breastfeeding to soldiers. She's currently dating four guys over there. A drone operator.
Soldiers? So she's dating soldiers.
Drone operator, a power plant worker, and 2 IT officers.
Okay, IT. All right, way to get in there, fellas. And then breastfeeding them as well. You said. So she gave birth recently?
And I guess adding that as content
of where
on
she's
her
breastfeeding and people are watching her breastfeed grown men.
I guess.
Okay.
Dude,
okay.
Man, if you ask me, man, she's doing God's work.
Listen, I'm like at a loss for words, bro. This woman is a hero. Frankly, we should erect a
Where's the
statue.
Purple Heart?
Where's the Purple Heart? For the blueless balls. Bro, this lady's a hero. You're right, bro. This lady's a hero. We should erect a statue immediately in her honor.
What would be the statue?
It would just be her with a titty out and like this, with welcoming arms.
Bring me your sick and wounded.
That's perfect. I can't even come up with something better than that. That's so good. No. So wait, if she's breastfeeding, that means she gave birth recently?
Oh, I don't know. They didn't talk about that.
How wild would it be if maybe the OnlyFans portion of this, because I was described, if she's never given birth and somehow she is able to produce milk? I think that's impressive.
Dude, there's got to be something. There's got to be a way you can probably fool the body.
Yeah, you could trick your body into thinking. Like you said, you're doing the Lord's work, man. You go in there and you're like, and you just start telling people, like, just start sucking, bro. Eventually it'll come. And it knows you're trying to nourish these soldiers, bro. Damn it, man. Good for her, bro. Wow, man. Yo, you know what? Every once in a while, every time I, lose my faith in humanity a little bit, somebody comes to restore my faith in it, bro.
Somebody comes through.
One titty at a time. Good for her, bro. Dude, that God, when you were saying before, it reminded me of a story that I saw this week too, man, where it was in the Ukraine. The Wagner, that guy, I can't think of, man, he's got a complicated ass name, but he runs that Wagner army and they were trying to overthrow Putin. Remember the guy who, I'm going to pull it up right now.
It sounds so familiar, man, dude, but I can't think of what it is.
I got to pull up his name right now because some wild shit happened to him today. So Wagner, he runs this they call this
is
a Wagner
he American
army.
dude?
No, he's a Russian dude, but he basically tried to do a coup on Putin and take over. But he runs this private army.
Is he the one that died in the airplane crash?
Yes, today, dude.
I just saw that big ass headline a little while ago.
Dude, he's his name is Yevgeny Prigozhin. All the Russian names sound like pharmaceuticals.
they got like 7 consonants.
Yeah, they sound like a medicine that you shouldn't take. Yevgeny Prigozhin is the leader of the Wagner mercenary group. So he died in a plane crash today, allegedly. But it's so wild, dude. He tried to form a coup against Putin, but this guy runs his own mercenary army. This is how he makes his money. He runs mercenary armies. Evidently, they spend a lot of time in Africa doing bidding for people. This guy's a multi-billionaire. And then he's in Russia, and supposedly today his plane crashes, quote unquote. But if you see the video of the plane, dude, that shit is falling out of the sky like a fucking it's like a ball, just straight down. Planes don't fall like that, bro. It's just like
the engine is just cut off.
Dude, it's not gliding. No, it's not gliding. Dude, it's literally straight down.
Like straight down, like a
and
drop?
Spiraling out of. No, it's a drop. Dude, that shit got shut down. There's no fucking way that's a malfunction, bro. If a plane malfunctions, it's gliding to safety, bro.
That's a great observation.
Dude, the video of the plane, it's going like this and it's spinning out of control and it's falling straight down like a rock.
It must have hit a big ass cloud.
Yeah. That cloud, it must have run into a missile.
There must have been a UFO in the cloud.
But this guy, which has surprised me that he stayed alive, it shocked me that he's even still in Russia. I also wonder, is he actually there? Did he fake this because he knew they would shoot it down? And maybe he wants them to think he's on this plane. I don't know. But because you got to think, can you possibly be that stupid if you're this guy?
And he's a Russian guy?
He's a Russian guy, man. And he tried to, I think Putin's used him. They've used him in Africa. Stuff. His armies. Dude, the armies that have invaded a lot of and taken over a lot of the cities in the Ukraine are his. They're his mercenary group.
Oh, wow.
Countries around the world hire his company. It's like one of those, what is it, like BlackRock things or Blackstone, what's the mercenary group too that's really known. There's military companies around the world, or and a lot of former military personnel go work for them. That's their job.
Oh, wow.
Essentially, they're an army for hire.
Yeah.
But so his group. I saw that and I'm like,
you want to travel the world and kill people?
Like, sign me up. That's essentially what they do. But yeah, man, I'm like, there's no fucking way. This is bizarre to me. I'm like, there's got to be more to this story. Or I'm like, maybe he was just that arrogant to think they're not gonna do shit. It was a private plane that he was on with 10 other people or whatever, or with 10 total.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But like you said, if you see a plane tumbling to the ground like that, man, that's not a malfunction, bro. Yeah, that's your wing got clipped.
Yep, and it's missing the wing when it's falling.
Oh, okay. So, he got shot off.
He got shot off, and
or somebody didn't tighten up the bolts.
But we forgot. Y'all needed both of them. And of course, the Russian thing. The Russian news is like, a plane crashed today. Right. It's like, yeah, crash, bro. There's no way, man. No way.
Yeah, man. What else? What else we got?
Dude, we got. Man,
Hit me up with this. What's up with these supermarket spiders, bro?
Yo. Okay, so when we were talking before about erect shit, it did make me think about this with the lady doing the Lord's work in the Ukraine. But there's a supermarket in. I want to get that because it's in Europe.
I want to see how you gonna tie this in to the Ukraine, to the woman in Ukraine.
You underestimate me, my friend. So in Austria, the supermarket was evacuated and the store manager closed it down because he spotted a banana-loving spider. This banana-loving spider, I gotta get the name of the actual spider. But anyway, this spider is known to sort of dwell in bananas, and it was found in the store, obviously amongst the bananas. And the spider is it's a bite, and it causes a bizarre side effect in men. And what it does is it potentially causes a permanent erection in men who get bit by this spider. Bro,
sign me up.
Dude, I was trying to book flights to Austria all last week. I was like, permanent? I was like, I'm at the age where I gotta have pep talks so much.
It'd be like, come on, man, not now. You fucking slapping it. Come on.
Yeah. I was at the age where I'm like, all right, today, did you step up? Maybe twice. I don't know. You gotta have a whole conversation.
Look down
bro.
and you be like, you're an asshole today.
Yeah. I gotta get the name of this spider, bro, because it's so evidently that there was like an infestation of this spider in supermarkets. They had to close it down, get rid of the spiders, clean off all the things.
Right.
And their fear was that it would cause this permanent erection in men. And I'm like, really?
I mean, I guess it would be like, how would you walk around?
Bro,
like proud,
like you did at 15, 16, with a slight limp,
or do you gotta fucking tape it to your fucking?
No, you be fucking stomach? Your belly button all day. I used to just tuck it up into my belly button from 15 to like 19. My dick lived in my belly button.
Oh shit, dude, that's insane. So it's not a banana spider.
No. It just likes, for whatever reason, they're saying that it likes bananas. I'm gonna get the name of the spider now.
Have you seen those shits here? Those banana spiders?
They're big as fuck. I have, man.
I mean, it's a. I guess as far as spiders go,
it's a Brazilian wandering spider. That's what it's called.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they have some kind of venom.
Yeah, it's something to do with the venom that it has when it bites you. This spider's venom will give you an erection that might last a few hours or be permanent. Yeah.
Damn.
That's insane. What are you injecting me with, bro?
Viagra might have to go and research this.
Yeah, like come milk these spiders.
All you need is a drop.
Yo, you think about that. Think about how small a spider is compared to a human.
Yeah, bro. And when they inject the venom, man, I mean, they can't hold that much.
Oh, man. That's crazy. Dude, Blue Chew, you guys are fucking around. Go get these guys to sponsor. Go get you a spider or two. You grab a whole farm of these Brazilian wandering spiders. And they're ugly looking fucking spiders, dude. They're. Let
me see.
Yeah. They're like if you saw that shit, you would go the other way. But now I know what they do, I might lean into one.
Is that like a fucking? That's like a fucking
tarantula. It looks like a tarantula, bro.
This thing is like hairy. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it's the top two.
Yeah, if I didn't know it was a magic spider, I'd immediately run the other way.
Yeah,
but because I know it's a magic spider,
be like that looks like it.
Oh, I'm locking it in a room with me. We're gonna cuddle, whether the spider wants to or not. And then I'm calling what's her fucking name?
I can't pronounce it.
Ms Taiwan.
Yeah, Ms Taiwan. Yep.
I told you it was sort of similar.
2022.
I told you we could figure out a way to link this, man.
Oh man, dude, our boy was in the news this week, man. Gary V. Somebody who I know we followed for years, man, and love that the work that guy does, and has a marketing company and amongst many other things, but always kind of preaching like kindness and like going for your dreams and really practical stuff
Yeah.
too that he puts forward. So
And he's himself. He's so authentic.
oh
And-
yeah, I think so too, man. There's probably somebody who knows him who would probably beg to differ, but at least listen, the guy has been, as long as I followed him, he's been very consistent.
Or at least you feel like he is the rest of us, and the rest of us want to be like that publicly.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
But he did a collaboration with Reebok. So several years ago, he did a collaboration with K-Swiss.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then now he's doing a collaboration with Reebok. But what this is interesting is that he's using his V-Friends, which for those of you who don't know, his V-Friends are like these NFTs essentially. But his vision for the V-Friends is like, he wants this to be like a Disney.
Yeah.
Right, like a Mickey Mouse and Goofy and Donald Duck, and right. So this dude literally, like, on a piece of paper drew these, non-impressive cartoon figures.
They're not at all.
No, they're not. But what he does is, I'm going to read some of these off. What he does with these is everything is like, because he preaches like positivity. So like, he has like a resilient red devil, a versatile Viking, a passionate parrot, video game vulture. He does all this sort of like positive stuff. And so with this collab with Reebok, if you can think about, remember the old Reebok classics?
Yeah.
So, those are still out. And as we know, all those trends come back in fashion, right? Like, just like you see the old Air Force Ones, the Jordans, like all that shit is still popping, right? The Reebok classics is popping again.
And then they get like second, third, fourth, fifth runs or whatever. Yep.
So it's essentially a Reebok classic with his he has an aspiring alpaca. And
Alpaca?
Is that how you say it? Alpaca?
The animal.
The animal.
Yeah, alpaca. Okay.
What is that?
It's the one with the that looks like it's chewing like a little baby camel, and it has the little fro. You know what it looks like. I'm gonna pull it up for you right now.
But yeah, so they doing this collaboration, classics. Now, I want to say, those things look like a llama.
Yes. They look like a llama with style.
Yep.
Like they got hairdos and shit. Yeah.
But these V-Friends, like I think he's made like plushies with them, but they are also NFTs.
Yeah, he's leaned in hard.
He's really leaned in hard,
yeah.
man. And like that aspiring alpaca or alpaca, or however you say it.
However you say.
Yeah, the freaking NFT is like $12,500.
Damn. Still?
So he was one of like the early adopters into NFTs.
Yeah,
and like you said, he really leaned into it. So that's still happening. For those of you interested, it can be purchased on the V-Friends website, and on the Reebok website beginning tomorrow, August 24th. And so yeah. So it's pretty cool. $90 is the purchase price, and yeah, man, like. Kudos to that guy.
And each one is different. You see, each one looks like. I'm trying to see if I can find.
Well, I think it's just the aspiring alpaca that is
that. Okay, so that's the first one he's gonna do, and then
right. And maybe there's more. I don't know. I didn't see if there was any more. But this dude, it's funny, man. And I remember him years ago when he did the collab with K-Swiss. He was very much on the. Like how trends come back around. Because I remember him talking about, like if you had an opportunity to do something with like Champion. And not that Reeboks have gone so necessarily out of style, but the Reeboks Classic is a classic.
Oh man, I still love Reebok Classics. Yeah. It's one of my favorite all white shoes.
And so for him, again, like Gary Vee's one of them dudes that he'll talk about something and then a few years later, it just comes to fruition. And you just like, fuck, man, I heard him say that shit like 4 years ago.
Yeah, dude, he's doing like fucking horoscopes. You know how there's people who have like whatever the sign it is, and they're like, that one's for positivity and balance, and this one's for that. He's basically creating his fucking astrological signs of NFT basically by having the alpaca and then the parrot and then the it's like, what are you? Do you identify as the parrot? You're the positive parrot or whatever.
Right.
That stuff. Like, dude, and he's always at the forefront, and he swing and misses too, but he also has been sort of ahead of the curve on a lot of shit, man.
Yeah,
like they said, and I feel like
And he doesn't care when he fails.
he doesn't give a fuck, man.
It's just like, okay, if it doesn't work, then I'm just like, I'm trying like 100 different things, and I know that, you know, the 40 of those might fail.
And I think the thing that I always take from him is that you have to enjoy sort of like that process. You hear that a lot. Is like he's not in it for the win.
Yep.
He's in it like for the game.
Yep.
Like and so like that's something that I think makes him win before he's even started. Because I remember when he did the K-Swiss thing, I thought it was weird because I went, oh, it's weird, but I guess you're not big enough yet to do one of the bigger brands like a Reebok or like a Nike or whatever. Because I thought K-Swiss is
That's what it was. I mean, K-Swiss has been around for a long time.
It
bro.
has, but it wasn't like, I think I looked at K-Swiss as sort of outdated, right? Like to me, K-Swiss is like what New Balance was a few years ago, and now suddenly New Balance is seeing this resurgence amongst like the youth. And so, you know, pop culture drives the popularity, or hip hop culture drives, like, and now you're seeing sort of New Balance get this, you know, it's like Champion. Remember Champion had a run when I was a kid. And then Champion was considered in like a Walmart brand. It's cheap. Like, nobody wears that. And then suddenly Champion became like the coolest thing on the planet again.
And so he called that shit before it happened. And he was saying that. He was just like, yo, all of these old brands that were cool is like, it's coming back.
Yeah. No, and he's, like you said, he absolutely hit the nail on the head. So when he did the K-Swiss thing, he was almost ahead of the curve.
Yep.
And then, because I remember thinking like, oh, it's weird, K-Swiss, nobody wears K-Swiss anymore. And then it just fucking came back, and then K-Swiss got popular. And then now all the sort of like 80s, 90s, like I guess like dad shoes or whatever you would call them, or even, I shouldn't even say dad shoes, even, I've seen even bell bottoms are sort of making their way back amongst women.
Dude, the baggy shit too now.
Dude, the big baggy jeans, and yeah, it's crazy, man, which I refuse because it's funny, now I'm officially old enough to have seen a cycle of like, you know, baggy, skinny, you know, whatever, regular. And then now I'm going, nah, I did that already. Like, you're not getting me wearing baggy jeans back, bro. I'm almost 40. I'm good. Like, I'm like, no.
It's funny, man, because my kids are into like the skinny jeans.
Mm-hmm.
But so they have a couple guys in their school that do like modeling and stuff.
Okay.
And so they've shown me some pictures, and some of the modeling stuff is with the like the 90s,
the giant baggy.
Dude,
have you seen all the NBA players now, like the F1 guys?
No.
Watch Lewis Hamilton walk into an F1 race. He's wearing clothes that looks like he can fit 6 of him in it. And then even the NBA guys now, they're rocking the really big baggy, like almost Jinko shit.
Really?
And all. Yeah, it's all back. Oh, they say it's back. I look at it now and I kind of cringe.
Not for me, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, you know, normally you look at a trend and you're like, oh, okay, I can see why that's cool. I did that along like the whole handbag thing, like where guys wear fucking crossbody purses. Like I can't fuck with it.
It's a satchel.
I do, yeah, that whole shit. It's funny. Now I do have a bag that's like the one strap bag, like the mini backpack thing, but I can't bring myself to wear a crossbody purse as a grown man. But it also shows, bro, rappers will get us to do anything. Like, bro, if you want your man to be faithful, like you're a woman, just get Lil Wayne to drop a song called "Never Cheat on My Bitch," and then and dudes will be like, "Nah, bro." We'll embrace that. Like rappers will really get us to do fucking like. Remember, it was like the baggy jeans, and then people started wearing skinny jeans, and you're just like, "No, man, we won't wear that shit, dude." And then suddenly every dude was wearing skinny jeans, and then every dude was wearing fucking purses.
Wasn't Lil Wayne was rocking skinny jeans?
Yeah,
right?
Lil Wayne was rocking skinny jeans and a purse, and then we were like, "All right,
maybe it ain't so bad.
Maybe it ain't so bad. That shit look kind of cool."
Dude, but the baggy shit, man, and when I see people wearing that, especially like people like my age,
yeah,
I'm always going like, man, you stuck, bro.
Yeah, I do too, man. So like, I'm like,
So if I see it now, I'm gonna be thinking about you.
And they're like, oh, nah, bro, it's back in. It's back in. I just been waiting. I've been sitting on it. You know, somebody got their closet full of some old polo jeans that they've been dying to rip out. Yo, what was the big brand when you were growing up with the urban clothes, like the baggy jeans, the thing? What was like the one?
I mean, FUBU was out there.
Yeah, FUBU was big when I was a kid too.
Yeah, I mean,
so FUBU was already out when you were.
It was already out, but there were other. I mean, like a lot of times, dudes would just get. They would just get fucking Levi's and just get them a bigger size and just rock those. So like the FUBU brand was sort of made to kind of be big and to look to add like a distinct look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when I was coming up, it was just that people would just buy their jeans bigger.
Gotcha. Dude, I don't even know if, like, when I grew up, there were certain brands. I'm like, I don't even know if they're around anymore. Like, Fat Farm.
Oh,
like
I remember that, yeah.
South Pole.
I remember
Rockaware had a run there. I don't know if Jay-Z's thing. But then, like, Dada. I don't know if you remember Dada. Academics.
Academics, I remember.
Like those. I'm like, man, I don't even know. Coogee. I'm like, is that even still a thing? Like, fuck.
But like
man.
all of those, like when I was coming up, it was like those kind of jeans, especially here. You had to go to specific stores to get them. Like that wasn't available. It wasn't like widespread. Like I had to go to like a certain store that carried those.
Yeah, I guess like for me, I'm thinking back to like middle school. I was in Jersey, and I would buy my clothes there, and then it was everywhere.
What year is that?
That's 99, like 97,
see, I'm already
97 to 2000.
Yeah, bro. See, like I'm already like I'm out of high school. I done did the Marines.
Yeah, you was a whole adult by 2000.
Yeah, I was adulting by then, bro.
No, bro, 2000. I moved here in 2000. So 2000. Then I'm trying to think of what was popping here. I mean, I guess Dada was still popping, but you're right. No, we had to go to specialized stores in the mall. Detour, remember a store called Detour? Maybe Journeys might have sold a couple things here and there. Okay. But that sold like the hip hop shit. I think JCPenney and Macy's might have had some Fat Farm thrown into there occasionally, so we bought some Fat Farm.
I remember, and again, I didn't buy like FUBU jeans, but I remember they would have like these local commercials, for stores that would carry that shit. Because the big boxes,
and it was like the mom and pop joints, dude. Yeah, I remember Fila had a run when I was like even younger than like before I moved here. When I was still in Jersey, elementary school, Fila was like the shoe, like it was like super popular, and it just died. Fila became like, you know, it wasn't like the cool.
They're still around though, right?
Yeah, and now it became cool again. It had a run like around Champion or whatever, where it became cool again. So where Fila, it's like it was really weird, man, like how these things are cyclical like that. Like it's bizarre. And now I look at it, I'm in denial, almost going like I remember when I was cool the first time. It's just so strange.
Yeah, I don't know that I could get back with the real baggy shit, man.
I can't do that shit, man.
Yeah, that's
y'all done made me commit a whole new wardrobe to the skinny jeans and all that stuff. I had to lose weight, grease myself up to get in them. Nah. These skinny jeans is staying on forever. They'll be cool again. Give me 10 more years.
You sound like an old head.
I'm officially one of them now. Like, nah, y'all gonna be wearing this, you young whippersnappers. You gonna be wearing this.
Yo, talk to me about this. The U.S. schools, this 4-day work week. What's going on?
Dude. There is a shocking number of schools that have gone to 4-day work weeks or 4-day days in the U.S. Dude, I didn't even know this was a thing for schools, but 900 school districts in the U.S. are now adopting a 4-day school week, and it's up from 650 districts in 2020. And I know a lot of that has to do with the shortage of teachers. And so they're throwing that out there as a sort of recruiting tool, like, hey, you only work 4 days a week.
And that's a great recruiting tool.
It's a great recruiting tool. The other part is it is like shortage. It is like money saving stuff if you're a local government. Dude, let me see if I can get a school.
And the reason why
900 of it.
No. So why you look? The reason why I'm asking is because, you know, there's that book that you and I know have both read, The 4-Day Work Week.
Yeah.
By Tim Ferriss. Great book. If you guys ever want to read something, he sort of challenges the idea of a 5-day work week, and then gives you several tips on kind of like how you can manage your week better so that you essentially like work less.
Dude, it's a lot, man. Interestingly enough, there's a highlighted map here.
Yep.
None on the East Coast other than Georgia, but look at this map of school districts within them that have. Now that doesn't mean the whole state, but it just means within that state there's a school district.
Right. So what he's showing me is pretty much every state west of the Mississippi.
Yep. No, that is absolutely accurate. Yep. And then I think that's Tennessee right there. So Tennessee has it. But no one on the East Coast has a 4-day work week.
And you know what?
Other than Georgia.
The school day, right? So
yeah, 4-day school.
So here's the deal. So like, I know a lot of parents use school as babysitters.
Yeah. And that's part of the
That's kind of part of the thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if those places, if those districts are also adopting a 4-day work week for adults.
I think you would have to. Or does this lead to the rise of additional businesses where it's like babysitting services or
For like a day.
daycares or camps, whatever it is for elementary lower. Maybe the school itself offers like, hey, day camps on Fridays or Mondays or whatever the free day is. Because I thought about that too.
Or it could be bring your kid and it's a makeup work day.
Yeah, and to your point, maybe it is, maybe all the businesses in those districts have to adopt to this because you're not, it's not like you have one employee or two. It's your entire workforce is dealing with this if they have children. So it's like, yeah, I thought that was fascinating. I hadn't heard of that at all. I don't know why. And it's not like it's new. It's 900 school districts are doing 4-day weeks.
Lot,
it's a lot. And I'm like, man, where have I been? And then it's like, does that keep expanding? Because there is a teacher shortage, obviously, nationwide. There's certainly one here.
Yep.
Does that become an additional recruiting tool, or does that just become in response to the shortage? And a way to save money, you go, okay, we can pay you guys a lot more. Maybe there's, maybe there's less staffing. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's a way you play with this logistically where you just go, maybe you move to a 4-day week.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And to your point, do corporations lobby against this because you need parents in an office or at a store or whatever their job is, 5 days or 6 days or 7, whatever that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. The one thing that I found interesting this year, at least in this state, I don't know if it's happening anywhere else, the phones. They can't have the phones in the classrooms anymore. They have to be off and put
in
away.
The backpack or
Right.
How do you feel about that?
So I have like two sides of this, right? I do feel like, because I have a son that he's the guy, the phone's always on. He has got one AirPod in his ear and he's listening to music like all day long, no matter what he's doing, right?
It's my daughter. Yeah.
And so I go, but he's also the one that kind of struggles in school and then turns on the jets at the end to kind of make it and pass.
Yeah. Make it according to
right. So for him, I'm just like, good. Like you need to pay attention,
focus and lock in.
Like get focused. Now on the flip side of that, I'm also going from the school district side. I'm going, here's technology. You guys are behind. You haven't learned how to incorporate it in school.
Yeah. Hey kids, bust out your phone. We're gonna go look up, instead of handing out laptops or iPads to all the kids. It could be a good. And granted, not everyone has one. But
no. But I mean, I think enough have it to where you could incorporate it into the school. And I think just with as fast as technology is moving between cell phones, most recently the AI stuff, Chat GPT, like that shit is all scary to the education system, and they haven't adapted. And like any government run entity, they're always behind.
Yeah, no, of course. And I think it's funny, man. My immediate reaction initially was, I don't want to say outrage, but I was kind of like, huh? And I could think of all the reasons. And I think, naturally I tend to lean towards don't tell me what to do. Like, as a person, like I just don't like it. And so, but I had to like take a step back from that for a moment and go, this is probably a good thing because the kids are always glued to their phones and stuff anyway. I think I try to do the whole justification for, well, what if there's an emergency? But I'm like, if there's an emergency,
they can take the phone out.
They can take the phone out. Yeah. But also, do I want you on the phone if you need to be worrying about how to get out of some situation? Yeah, and that was the other thing that sort of hit my mind. I went, what if they have to call the cops? Or what if, they have to call me? If there's an active shooter, because, that's shit we worry about now as parents. Yeah. And I went,
isn't that fucked up, bro?
It's so fucking wild to me, man. That's the first place my brain went to. Is like, I need you to be able to call the cops or me or whatever if there's an active shooter or whatever. And then I went, if that's the situation, I kind of need you 100% in on how do you get the fuck out of that situation.
Right.
And not worried about a phone.
Right.
And so I went, maybe the fact that you don't have the phone immediately accessible in your pocket, it does force you to bolt for a window, a hallway, hide in a closet, whatever that is like you go and then maybe you're sort of locked in on other situations. Like from a safety perspective, it's funny how I was able to talk myself out of into both scenarios of pro phone or anti phone. And then also, to your point, like, you got time to be on it all day. You always have the headset on. Like, dude, lock in and focus.
Yeah, right, lock in.
I think as someone now who's trying to spend less time on his phone too, it's like I understand what that sort of connection that isn't always necessarily a good thing can be for you. And so like trying to remove myself from that, like not constantly checking or looking and all that. So I think this is a good practice of you can spend 8 hours a day not looking at your phone. Like no one's looking for you. You know what I mean? Like,
And it's only 7.
Yeah. It's strange. But dude, a lot of rules have changed. I don't know if you saw that, like if you want a nickname in Florida, you have to fill out a whole another form now. But a nickname could be something as short as like if your name is Michael and you want to be called Mike, you have to fill out this form.
Yeah.
If your name is Ronald and you want to be called Ron, like our governor, or whatever the fuck his full name is, you have to fill out this form.
Wow.
And there has been outrage here over this form, which my argument would be is this is what happens when you go too far. You go too far with the gender shit or identify as a puppy or whatever the fuck you do is like, or I did this, I want you to call me blah, 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 blah. And I go, and I get it and whatever, to each their own. But now the state is responding with, well, we don't want to offend or we don't know what to think. So now you need permission for us because we don't know what the fuck to call you. I think this is in response to if you're Jenny and I need to call you Bob, then your parents need to fill out this form. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's really what they're saying.
Right.
But it's like,
and then we'll just change your name in the system.
Yep.
Dude, so funny that you say that. So my boys have a teacher who, I'm going to get this wrong, but he doesn't want to go by like Mr. or Mrs. He wants to go by something else. So it's not like, I don't know, let's just say his name is Mr. Jones.
Zay Jones.
But I forget what it is. Oh, Mix. So he doesn't want to go by Mr. Jones, and I'm making this up, the last name I'm making up, Mr. Jones. Okay. He doesn't want to go by Mrs. Jones. He wants to go by Mix Jones. And he told his students, you will address me as Mix Jones. So, but with these changed rules this year, they don't need to do that.
Yeah. Do you like, sir, do you have your form filled out? Did your mom sign it? Dude, I know that's so strange.
It is to my understanding that I don't have to call you that anymore.
Yeah. So what, because
it's a guy, right?
It's a guy.
So it would be Mr. Jones.
Dude, I saw that form and I thought it was weird. And I remember I've heard people being outraged, and I go, no, it's you. You're the reason why we have this. It's the people that are outraged who are like, I want to be able to be called whatever or identify as whatever. And again, I'm like, you're fine. But like anything else, we tend to go far in the other direction. So the response is going to be, well, fuck you. I think our petty governor is going to go, well, now I'm going to go really far this way. So you're going to have to fill out a form for anything. And it was really strange. I'm like, the teacher was like, oh, if your name is Albert and you want us to call you Al, fill out the form. And I was like, wow, it's really that. Otherwise, I cannot call you anything other than what's on your registration.
Wow,
like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was wild. The other thing, man, I found it hysterical at this Meet the Teacher thing for my daughter.
Yeah.
At the middle school, met the history teacher, and we overhear her going, she's like, hey, by the way, if I believe in teaching history as it happened, and with facts and the real things, I will not be teaching it as the state of Florida has mandated me to.
Really?
Yeah, dude. So she goes, so if you have a problem with that, like, you know, no.
Take me out of the class.
Yeah, go ahead and withdraw and take the other class, but I'm not going to do that. And I was like, good for you, yo. Yeah, I was like, good for you. But I thought it was funny. I'm like, you know, she went out and said that. But, you know, and most of the parents in there were like, okay, thank you. Like, I didn't see one parent that was kind of like, you know, like every single parent in that classroom.
You mean they're going to tell them they were really slaves?
Yeah, exactly. Like they learned new skills that they were able to apply in real life because they had none of those in Africa. Dude, and if you don't know what we're referring to as, we have to now in African American studies or whatever they call it, African studies here, one of the parts in it is that slavery wasn't all bad, because one of the positive things about slavery is that slaves had to learn like a trade or a skill set that they were able to apply to make money, you know, post Abraham Lincoln. Or freedom or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah, how we doing on time?
Yo, we're an hour 9.
Damn. You want to end with anything?
We thought we had nothing, bro. This shit is nah, bro. We need to do. You had one that we need to end this on, man. I think it involved a manatee or a walrus or whatever.
Speaking of Florida,
we did. Yeah. Give it up for Florida one more time.
Sarasota has an aquarium.
Oh, I already love this.
Sarasota has an aquarium. where one of our beloved manatees died. If you guys have not seen manatees, they're actually really cool. If you're here in Florida, we call them sea cows. I guess it's like the slang name for them. Anyway, manatees are just these big freshwater creatures, huge but gentle giants. If you get to see them in the wild, the state says like don't touch them. I've touched them. I've actually gone in and fucking dove in with those shits.
Dude, they're intimidating when you don't know.
Oh my god, bro! Yeah, they're like 2,000 pounds. They're
fucking huge. But like you said, when we know they're super docile and really like it's kind of fun to swim with them. Yeah, I've done the same thing. Cool, man. Bro. Yeah.
Anyway, there was an aquarium in Sarasota where they had one die. It was like 38 years old, but I guess they live far beyond that. But it died because it had a ruptured colon. And the reason why, and it was a male.
And he had a ruptured colon.
And yes. Okay. And the reason why it had a ruptured colon was because its brother had sex with it. And ruptured its colon and fucking killed it.
Dude, he got his cheeks clapped to death. Damn. How you get your cheeks clapped to death? Dude, and that's no bullshit. I didn't even know that was a thing in the manatee community. Dude, but evidently they were having some vigorous intercourse.
Yeah, and so they actually, and I quote, the manatees engaged in natural yet increased mating behavior, observed and documented in manatees in managed care and in the wild.
Dude, my favorite line in the article that I read was like vigorous intercourse. And I was like, well, it was in jail. I was like, wouldn't we all?
Dude, you know what, man?
That's fucking crazy.
I wonder if you have manatees. So like, and again, I'm not gonna pretend that it's a no, but it's just like, do the males compete for females like in most other?
Yeah, and then they have the smallest penises in the animal kingdom.
Oh,
is it manatees?
I have no idea.
I think manatees. Don't ask me why I know that, but
I thought maybe it was like a spider monkey.
Yeah, are you competing, man?
Right, so are you competing for? And is this a way for you to go? No, like I'm the dominant male.
To assert your dominant. Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You know how dogs like hump each other, and like even females will hump males, but it's for dominance.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's something like that, but I don't know.
Yeah, to try to assert your dominance. Like, look how I get to this dude. Imagine what I do. Yo, I'm just tripping over how you get fucked to death.
Poor manatee. God bless.
Listen, man. Had this, you know what? This manatee could have used a certain Taiwanese bitch to, and his brother would still be alive. He needed an emotional support Taiwanese chick, and his brother would still be alive. She would have taken one for the team, no doubt.
That's right. He could have saved his colon.
Yeah.
Yo, on that, tell them where they can find us.
Save the manatees. Hey, if you're not following us already, at the Carbon Football Podcast on Instagram, at Carbon FP Pod on X, the Carbon Football Podcast on Facebook, on YouTube, and all your favorite streaming platforms. And also, we're the Carbon Football Podcast on, or the Carbon Footprint Pod on TikTok, sorry. And then all your favorite audio platforms, man. We're on Amazon Music, Audible, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so that you guys can get the notice as soon as we drop a new video every week. And shout out to you guys for the support. The drink idea is a couple people have suggested to me this last couple weeks that we should launch a recipe book, which I think will be in our future at some point in time, man, for sure. Man,
dude, we've done so much, man. We've done so many drinks here, and sometimes I'll be at home, and it's funny, man. Like I have family that almost like you're like I've become like the official bartender, and I remember nothing.
I'll be the same way. I make this. I'm like,
yeah, dude. I think I have like 3 drinks in my head. But yeah, man, we need to come up with like a little book or a Rolodex or something, man.
Dude, we could do volumes of this shit at this point. Like we could do one like years 1 through 3 and do a book and then go from there.
Yeah,
but it's funny, man. I've done the same thing. Big parties in my family. I'd almost like get asked all the time. Oh, you got to bartend. You got to make stuff. Or any get together. Like, oh, you got to come up with a drink. Like, get us with something. And it's cool. It's cool. It's like one of those things you're kind of just known for now. And then so people see the pod. Like the people who knew me before that I still like to make drinks. And the people that see now and all that stuff, they'll be like, oh, you got to make whatever y'all made on the pod this week or whatever. So it's cool, man.
And then I got to think back and go, what was that?
Yeah. I'd be like,
check IG.
Check IG. Yep. For sure, man. So yeah, bring it on, man. Thank you guys, man. It's
absolutely. And as always, we appreciate you guys. And we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.